this is Jeannie and Wanda at the supper table
In the van.
with our grandchildren. I have 3 of my grandchildren, and you have...
I have Kepler.
Hey, Kepler! When you have your grandchildren, it's like your children have handed you this precious gift, and you want to protect it and take care of it and love it. And when I had my children, it was like I had no fear. I knew how to raise children. I knew how to do it. You know, I thought I did. But then they gave me my precious grandchildren. It's like, don't do that, honey. Don't do that. Grammy doesn't want you to get hurt. Grammy wants you to be safe. And so it's like you've been handed this precious, precious gift that you just want to take care of. And they look at you,
didn't
like...
want to take care of your children?
I did take care of my children.
I know, it was a joke.
No, I did take care of my children, but I did it without fear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now
You're overprotective,
yeah,
maybe.
it's like overprotection, yeah. Well, we're headed to camp tonight. The kids are going to kids' church, and we're going to adult worship.
With adults?
Yeah! Can you believe it?
How about that?
And you know, there's a sermon I did a few years ago now, and talking about children, and I'm just wondering if we could take a listen to that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. We'll just watch it together.
All right.
You and me.
Sounds great. Have a good one. See you at the end.
I wandered far away from God. Now I'm coming home. The path of sin too long I trod.
should say more often. Number 20, thank you. And not just on Thanksgiving, every day. Number 19, excuse me. Number 18, here's a surprise corn dog that I bought you because you're my friend. There'll be more corn dogs and more happy people. This is a good idea. Corn dog for you, corn dog for you, corn dog for you. Number 17, I'm sorry. Number 16, I forgive you. Number 15, you can do it! But don't say it if it's something I can't do. Number 14, another thing that we should say more often, I have barbecue sauce in my shirt too. Before you say something about the barbecue sauce on somebody else's shirt, take a look at the barbecue sauce on your own shirt. Number 13, please. Number 12, everything is going to be okay. Number 11, oh, you got me a corn dog too? You shouldn't have, buddy. Number 10, I don't know. I know a lot of people who need to say that. My sister. Number 9, you're so awesome I named my dog after you. Wait. That could hurt someone's feelings. I mean boat. I named my boat after you. Wait, who even has a boat? You're so awesome, I legally changed my name to yours. Wait, that's super creepy. Just tell people they're awesome and mean it. Number 8, hello, person that I never met before. Here's a high five. Number 7, my sports team is not always the best sports team. It takes a big man to say that. Number 6, nothing. Sometimes that's the best thing you can say. Number 5, doesn't mean anything, but it's just really funny. Number 4, I disagree with you, but I still like you as a person who is a human being, and I'll treat you like that because if I didn't, it would make everything bad, and that's what lots of people do, and it's lame. Whew, I need a water break, y'all. It's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to be mean. Number 3, sometimes you just gotta scream. Number 2, life is tough, but so are you. Sometimes we all need to be reminded to keep going. Number 1, something nice, anything. If you can't think of anything nice to say, you're not thinking hard enough.
Have you ever lost anything? I have. When Tanya was about 3 years old, I walked out to the car one morning with Mike to tell him bye. And when I went back in the house, Tanya was nowhere to be found. And I mean, I searched that house over. I called her name. I thought I looked in every little crevice, but I could not find Tanya. I sent Dwayne to bed one night, and I said, go by the bathroom, then get into bed, and I'll be in just a few minutes to say your prayers and tuck you in. Well, I gave him just a few minutes, and when I went in, he wasn't in the bed. And I said, well, maybe he went in to be with Tanya, you know? So I went in and checked Tanya's room. He wasn't there. Called Mike. Come on, guys. I can't find Dwayne. I don't know where he is. We searched that house over. We could not find Dwayne. How about your marbles? Do you ever feel like you're losing your marbles? Well, can I tell you it's true? You are? For me, I lost my marbles a long time ago. And looking back, I'm totally amazed and shocked at how quickly I lost them. And some of you are looking at me like, I knew it. I knew she'd lost her marbles. The marbles that I'm referring to are the time that I had to spend with my children from birth to high school graduation. Reggie Joyner is the executive director of family ministries for North Point near Atlanta, Georgia. And he works alongside of Andy Stanley. You probably know his dad. Reggie's convinced that when parents can get a picture in their head of the time that they have to spend with their children, that they will become more intentional about the things that matter most. He gives parents a jar of marbles to remind them of the time they have left with their child before they graduate from high school. The marbles become a giant countdown clock as parents are instructed each week to remove one marble. At birth, you have 936 marbles, or 936 weeks. At age 6, you have about 624 marbles left. At age 14, about 208 marbles left. And when you get like me, you lost your marbles. When I look at my children, I'm so thankful that I get to be their mom. And you know, looking back, I can't even begin to tell you where my marbles went. There were times that we read books together, we prayed together, we played together, we ate meals around the table. We went bowling, we told stories. Then there were proms and trips and sports and concerts. We laughed, we cried, we yelled. Most of my marbles weren't spent on the big things, but on smaller everyday moments. And when you're living those days, you know what? It seems like it just goes rather slowly, one little marble at a time. But boy, when you get where I am, you realize just how fast those weeks have passed. Psalms 90:12 says, "Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom." When you see how much time you have left, I think you tend to do more with the time that you have now. You know, I keep saying parents, but it works the same way with grandparents. We all know that growing our kids takes time. It's important that we focus on the time that we've been given. We have the most influence on our kids from birth to high school graduation. And I want to share 5 areas with you today that I think that we can really be more intentional about. Of course, the first is love. Giving a child love over time, over the long haul of the 18 years, gives them a sense of self-worth. How do I know God loves me? Because he keeps showing up. He's always there when I'm doing my best, or he's there when I'm at my worst, or when I'm messing up. He's there to love me through the good times and the bad times. He's there to speak to my heart when I need correction. How do our children know we love them? Because over time, we keep showing up. We love them through the good times. We love them through the bad times. We care enough to give them direction and correction, all the while loving them unconditionally. Confidence grows in a home that is full of unconditional love and affection. In our homes, when we are quick to forgive, when we forget to hold grudges, and we want what's best for each other, we show children God's unconditional love. Loving them over time gives them a sense of self-worth. Getting stories over time give our children perspective. Do you have a family story that you like to tell? One that you just tell over and over and over? When I married Mike, his family was really good at this. They still are. Every time we got together, they would tell the same story. And I thought, I have heard this story so many times. But it didn't matter. They laughed louder every time, and they would retell it again. We're wired for stories. We need to tell and retell our stories. We need to take pictures, because you know what? Sometimes I can't even remember what happened, but I got a picture. Everyone has a story, and kids love hearing them. How about a funny mishap or what you were like when you were a child, or maybe what life was like when you were a child. Our stories teach them about love and forgiveness. Our stories teach of God's faithfulness and make us strive to be better and give us perspective on what's really important in our families. The third thing that we need to give our children over time is fun. Sometimes on Sunday, I think people come up and they look in my window upstairs and it looks like all we're doing is playing games or having fun. Is it because I'm lazy? Is it because I'm not prepared? No, it's because through fun over time, you can make connections with children. When you laugh with children, you make connections. A few years ago, while I was a children's pastor at another church in a different town, I played a lot of games around the table with the children. And there were very valuable lessons learned around that table. Let me tell you what they were. How to play and have fun, and how Jesus loves you so much. There's healing and learning that take place when families laugh and have fun together. And winning is not as important as being involved in enjoying the activity. One of the most important questions to ask children is, did you have fun? Not did you win? That's why I told you yesterday, Larry, if you had fun, you won. Because he can't play cornhole, y'all. In our family, we always say, if you had fun, you won. And then a tribe over time gives a child a sense of belonging. I love the point that says our family is a circle of strength and love. With every birth and every union, the circle grows. Every joy shared adds more love. Every crisis faced together makes the circle stronger. But our children need to be connected to other people as well. Every child needs a community. Every child needs friends, people to do life with. It's important that parents are intentional about getting their kids connected to others. Take them to Sunday school and leave them. Let them play sports. Let them join a club. If children learn to connect when they're little, it makes it so much easier when it's time for a job interview or heading off to college. It's important that our children have other people speak into their lives. When my children were little, I kept them busy. We attended a very small church, and I really didn't want them to think that they were the only Christians on the planet. So everything the church offered, everything the district offered, I took my kids. I let them go to camp. I let them go on mission trips. I let them have friends over. And because of this, so many people spoke life into them. Let your kids get connected so other people can speak life into them along with you. And then we must give our children words over time. Words over time gives them direction. During these years, birth to high school graduation, we, the parents, we, the grandparents, get the high calling of being the voice our kids hear the most. The older they get, the more voices they will hear. So we must focus now on speaking words that bring life to their hearts. Let's teach them who God says they are. Let's teach them to who they belong and how to take hold of the abundant life in Jesus. The little guy in the video just a few minutes ago, he said some powerful words. You know, one like, here's a corn dog I got just for you. Or how about, I have barbecue sauce on my shirt too. Or you're awesome. And can I add a few of my own? I love you. You are a gift from God. God has a plan for your life. I know you messed up, but it's okay. We're going to get through this. I forgive you. I messed up. Will you forgive me? You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You can trust Jesus with this situation, with this fear, with this desire. God's concerned about every detail of your life. I am so happy, so proud, so honored, so blessed that I get to be your mother, or I get to be your daddy. Can you see how hearing these words over time, not one time, but over and over again, how these words would drown out the negative voices that are going to be coming to our kids as they go to school? Words stay in someone's mind long after you even forget that you said them. Words are important. So I ask you again, have you ever lost anything? Well, we did. We lost Wayne. We searched the house over. And guess where we found him? Fast asleep in the bathtub. He had gone to the bathroom, as his mother told him to do, and he climbed over in the bathtub and went to sleep. He was one tired boy. And then we found Tanya. She was hiding from me. I found her crouched down beside the bathroom cabinet, and it was all she could do to contain those little giggles when I finally found where she was. And those are some things we found, but I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, if you haven't already, you too are losing your marbles. And I'm even more sorry to tell you, you will never get them back. You will never get back the time, or this time in your child's life. That's why it's so important that we learn to number our days. Because when you see how much time you have left, you tend to do more with the time that you have now. To leave a legacy, you don't have to be famous. You just have to have time. You won't always see what's happening when you're doing it. You won't be able to predict the significant moments, but over time, lives can be shaped and molded for the kingdom when we become more intentional about the things that matter most. Think about this one for a minute. Holiness, godly character, a love for Jesus is cultivated around the dinner table, on living room sofas, in the backyard on swing sets, and in car seats filled with old goldfish and gummy worms. Holy living and training and a love for God must be taught in the home. You see, there's only 168 hours in a week. I'm going to borrow one of these marbles. There's 168 hours in a week. Holy living and training must be taught in the home, because this is what I get. This is what we, the church, get, about 1 hour a week, some weeks, to help you do the training of your children. I'm going to ask our kids, we've got a lot of them here today, even if you're not sitting over here. I want all of our children, if you're 18 or under, please come and just join me right down here on the front. As they come, I want you to fall in behind them, and I want you to ask God to show you how you can invest in the life of a child or a teen. Now, the child you come and stand behind, he may or may not be yours. Maybe somebody else's child. But over time, we as a church can encourage them in some small way. I don't know, maybe you've got a story you'd like to share with them, or a kind word, or maybe you could get their address and send them a card. Just a good laugh would be fun. Or just give them your unconditional love and your prayers. My prayer today is that we will cherish our children in the days that we have with them, because you see, it won't be long before every one of these kids will be moving their tassel from the right to the left and stepping out into a great big world all by themselves.
I love that, Jeannie.
Oh, thank you, Wanda. I hope that was a real challenge for parents and grandparents.
Oh, yeah, I would say. When Jesus said, "Let your light so shine before men," I'm sure he was talking about including our families.
Starting with our families, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
The fruit of the Spirit should be in our homes. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father, which is in heaven.
Yeah, I don't think we realize the impact that we have on children and creating fun for them, just like these guys that we just dropped off for children's worship tonight. You know, I'm so excited that they get to go and be with other kids that love Jesus too and get to hear the message of the gospel here at Camp Garner Creek.
The greatest message ever. And what's your email address again, just in case someone wants to get in touch with you?
My email address is jga29@aol.com. If you have questions or comments, or if we can pray with you or for you, please don't hesitate to send us an email. We would love to be in touch. Thank you.
Love y'all.
Love you. Bye-bye.